to the 90s Baby Gamer channel. Now, I had done videos in the past on my Fight VG channel, and those had contained interviews from both New York City Comic Con 2013 and 2014. I had interviewed representatives from numerous companies, from Capcom to Nintendo, and it was just a wonderful experience both years. And I would highly suggest, if you haven't gone to a Comic Con event yet, that you go. Now, onto the topic at hand. I saw an article on IGN and it got me to thinking this should be my first video. And the topic is games launching broken. Now, there are many games, Assassin's Creed Unity and Master Chief Collection are the two that come to mind, that were released at launch and they ended up being a broken mess. Assassin's Creed Unity, you got characters going through the floor. At Master Chief Collection, you had matchmaking issues where you could barely find a match. Even though players were clearly looking, you still have issues. And even though they patched the game recently, I'm still having issues finding matches, even though it's much better now. With patches, it makes it extremely easy for the companies to release a half-assed game and still charge $60. Essentially, they have ditched their quality assurance people and have chosen us to be the beta testers. That's right. Even though we're the ones paying $60 and we're not getting paid at all, we are the beta testers. We are the quality assurance testers for these companies. Because these companies don't come out with games that are 100% complete and then they rely on us to tell them what's wrong with their game and then they patch it. Sometimes they patch it weeks later, sometimes they patch it months later, sometimes they patch it on day one. Either way, they rely on patches far too much, and 2014 was the year where it really came to a head, where consumers were just like, this shit has to stop. Now, when it comes to games launching and being broken, back in the 90s, obviously, a game came out and that was it. There was no patch. Technology has advanced so far with things like the cloud and stuff like that, that patching is done relatively easily, and there are even hot fixes where it doesn't require a download. The game just they just put a patch to it and you're good to go. But if you had a Sega Saturn, PlayStation 1, and 64, you were getting no patches. If a game had a game breaking issue, you had to rely on the companies to re-release that game. So you would have to buy a game twice, basically, unless they had a thing where it's like, oh, send it to us, send us the broken copy, and we'll send you a new copy. But back in those days, it was extremely rare for companies to find themselves in the position that they are now, releasing tons of broken games, because these companies feel like they have a way out. And that is extremely unacceptable and extremely ridiculous when we, the consumers, are paying $60 a pop for this. Now, there are some developers that openly tell you, hey, we're in the beta stages. Look at early access on Steam. And I'm not knocking early access on Steam by any means, but there are even programs that say, hey, we're beta testing, and yeah, we'll admit you're the ones who are, going to be beta testing for us and telling us what can be improved. That I appreciate. I appreciate when the developers, they flat out tell you, hey, it's going to be a $20 game or whatever the case may be. It's early access, but hey, we really want to get closer to you and to see, what exactly is wrong. That's not what the big name AAA developers are doing and publishers, because they are essentially telling you, hey, this game is perfect. Pay $60 for it. They are lying to your faces, and they're expecting you to be happy with it and satisfied simply because they can just patch it in. So essentially, if you don't have online, you're screwed when it comes to these systems, Xbox One and PS4, because these developers are relying on patches. That's all I have to say today. Thanks for watching, guys.